So it's this girl in green right here.
What's going on? You just can't log in?
Yeah. All right. Greg is gonna help you out. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. Is it okay if I really like your speaker and I want to use your speaker, your microphone?
Do that.
Okay, and then I'll leave this
If
for
we
like
do
someone
that,
else.
we just want to move this to that, which I can do.
Does it?
This is the streaming mic.
Yeah. That's
Yeah. Oh God, I can't get my legs moving. This should just stick. Let's see.
awesome.
Check. She wants to use this one.
Okay. Is there any way to get bonus over that? Rotate?
Check.
Much as we can get.
It's a very long cable. It's just twisted.
There we go. Check.
Do we want to move it against the door thing to capture as many people as possible? How are the bagels? Are they good? Yeah, nice.
Like me. Here.
Oh. We could just unplug it.
Oh, it's that. Yeah. Is that the same live stream mic
Yes,
that was on the other one?
I just took it off.
Awesome. This is one of my favorite things to do.
Untangle
love
cords.
wires so much.
Cool.
All right, I think we got it. Hold on.
There's math behind untangling cords.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it called string theory?
I don't know. I just know that it's something about like if you look at where they're tangled and you have an even number, then the ends are on the same side. If you have an odd number, they're on the opposite sides, I think.
I could have.
We're almost there.
I'll do
This
something
is the last knot.
To go back
So
to the
close.
Okay.
Cool. We'll turn that down so we're not going to kill people. Check.
Need work.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got space.
Nice.
Yeah.
How's that?
I think that's fine. Can people in the back hear me? Yeah? How about all the way back there? Yeah? Fantastic. People in the front? Can you guys hear us? Yeah? Cool. Thank you for your participation. Did we get the live stream link up? It's in Slack?
Yep.
Fantastic. I'll give this to you because I think you're starting, right? Huh? You get pulled up over there.
Who's running slides? You have a clicker?
Yeah, I do have the clicker.
So good.
Uh-huh.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much for taking time off of your weekend to stop by, especially mentors, volunteers, and Opportunity Hack staff for helping out and for co-organizing this hackathon. It will be a very fun weekend of a lot of learning, and you're building for real-world nonprofit organizations and making an impact. So please make the most out of these opportunities. Make friends, reach out to mentors. Historically, we've always done a competition of sort every March. This is the 21st year we're doing this. In the past, it has been programming competition similar to ICPC style algorithm challenges. However, as the tech field evolved And technical interviews involve more than just your regular DSA. And there are a lot of cool products that you could be building. There's a trend towards hackathon. And we're luckily got in touch with Opportunity Hacks, and we really respect the work that they're doing. So we are very glad that they reach out, and we're collaborating for this hackathon, and we're bringing it on to different nonprofits for you to solve their technical problem statements. You can hear more about Opportunity Hack from the team.
Clicker me. Amazing. Hi, everybody. My name's Greg Vanoni. I am a engineering manager, although as of Monday, my new title is an AI pod lead for Meta. Yes, the world of AI is changing rapidly, and my job title is no longer an engineering manager, but that's cool because we're doing AI stuff, and that's also fun. In my normal 9-to-5 job, I work in Reality Labs, which is all of the VR, AR, these glasses that I'm wearing, things like that. And then in the nights and weekends, I do this work, which is trying to find nonprofits who need software engineering solutions. I want to also introduce Nicole, who is all the way over there. Do you want to say anything? I'll say something for Nicole. Nicole used to be, let's see, a hacker at Opportunity Hack. She was an intern at PayPal with me, and then now she's a software engineer, ML engineer at Spotify. She's been around for a very long time. And then can we go to the next slide? Then I want to introduce my wife, Gina. Gina, do you want to come over here? Gina, everybody.
Hi, this is my thing. Hi, I'm Gina. Oh, my slide. Oh, so if you look at the slide, it says I catch babies. So I'm not, I'm a nurse. But I'm part of Opportunity Hack because of Greg, and I used to kind of be a volunteer, just help as just kind of minimally, and then I really fell in love with the mission. This is really great that you guys are here. So about 5 years I've been more involved with Opportunity Hack. This is our first time with WiCS, so this is really fun. I'm really excited. Really happy you guys are here for the weekend. You guys dedicated your time for this weekend for these nonprofits. I had a whole thing. I never do the bullet points. Just thank you guys for being here. And it's not just about winning hackathons, it's about really giving back to the community and empowering nonprofits to grow and thrive. So I think that's it. Have fun. Please ask questions and use your resources. Okay. Thanks. Your mentors, me, Ben outside, Greg. So we'll be around, but please, this will help you guys be successful for the weekend. Okay. Oh, thank you. Just really quick, I won't take your time, but we did get a really cool email. We had our Opportunity Hack, our hackathon in October, and we just got the nonprofit that we worked with, got an email 2 days ago that she's the two winning teams. Ben's is one of them over there. He's so modest. They are in their final week of completion, and it's full circle. We're helping Suzanne out from the nonprofit that we use in October. So really great. Like, it's about, these 2 days we do. Oh, thanks. So it's, we work really hard, and this is like what we want, right? We want people to like dedicate themselves fully and really help these nonprofits. So she's super happy. She was with us for like every year consistently for about 5 to 6 years. Didn't have her projects. There's barriers to that, and we understand, but these two teams dedicated themselves, kept in contact with her, and really helped her out. So she's thrilled. So that's why we do it. So thank you for being here. Go WiCS.
Thank you, Gina. Do a little round of applause for Gina. Thank you. So we've been around for about 10 years, maybe 12 years, something like that. we get a lot of these people who reach out to us to thank us for gaining confidence and getting internships because of the work that they do in weekends like this. So this is everything that you make of it, your time that you use this weekend. And there's tons of these stories where people are super thankful for the experience that they gain by building software for nonprofits with us. We also have a quote from Siobhan. I actually worked with Siobhan at PayPal and Venmo for a while. He's very funny, and he says, unless you have a good UX, it doesn't matter. That's one thing he learned. And then he also said, we shouldn't find a problem and just we shouldn't actually create a solution and then find a problem. We should find this problem and then solve it. And Opportunity Hack is giving you the problem to solve versus just creating a solution that nobody potentially uses. So that's Siobhan. And then one more is this absolutely changed the direction of my career and how I think about my work. This is somebody that joined us 10 years ago along with Siobhan. And they reached out and they gave us these quotes. So we've had a really good run for the last 10, 11 years here in Arizona. I'm going to hand it to Han again to talk more about WiCS. Is that right? Awesome. Back to Han.
Thank you very much, Opportunity Hacks, Greg, Gina, Nicole, for supporting us and for coming in today. So who in here is a student at ASU, which most of you should be? All right, I read the registration form. So you must be familiar with WiCS. We're Women in Computer Science, and our mission as a student organization at ASU is to be the support network and resource for female and other minority students in technology. So as you navigate the tech field, get into your freshman year, go into your classes, you might bump into a friend who is from the Bay Area who has been coding since he was 10, for example. Or you might have just come across people who are a lot more talented than you and who have a lot more access. And our goal is to bridge that barrier. So every Wednesday, we bring in industry meetings from different companies. OHack was with us back in February, and we have more to come down the line. So we want to bridge that gap professionally, but we are also a community to help you find your people, chill out after a stressful week, and just have someone to talk to as you navigate the career field and the CS degree. We want to see you graduate, and we want you to see you successful in the professional world. So this is our team. Right now, I'm leading WiCS as the president. Oops, I did overclick. Oh. Sorry, there's a bit of a. All right. Right now, I'm leading WiCS as the president. We also have Krisha here, who was last year president, who is helping around as the co-president. We also have our VP of Industry, Sophie, who brings on the cool industry representative and sponsor that you see on Wednesday meeting. We have our treasurer, VP of Internal, Tia, VP of External, VP of Outreach, Ishita, and our director and associates, Neha for campus relations. If you're from another student org at ASU, you might have heard from Neha. Marketing director, Ria, who is behind all of our IG. We have our webmaster, our professional director, Nga, who helped with this hackathon, our logistic director, our mentorship program director, graphic designer, and technical associate, Puchita. And then I also want to give a thanks to Dr. Navabi and Dr. Samira. If you have taken CSE 205 or CSE 575, you might have come across either of them. And they're very involved as advisors, and they have helped us out with a lot of events. We also receive a lot of support from Sky, especially Dr. Ross, who is the Sky director. So we want to give him a thanks for that, as well as other Sky faculty and other Sky staff. So when we're hosting this hackathon, we thought a lot about what we want to bring to people, what kind of opportunities we want to create, and what we hope people gain from this. And as we navigate that and as we work with Opportunity Hack on that, we seek success stories from inspiring leaders in the industry who have been there, done that, who are very inspiring women, and they have stories and they have personal experiences that we find inspiring. So one of them is Jamie. Right now, she's the VP at Dynamic System Inc. And she is very cool. And we would love to hear from her.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. It's wonderful to be here with you. So, I want to start off with a real quick story where my love for engineering and technology kicked off. So, 1984, I was fairly young. My dad had brought home the Macintosh computer. It was first released, the very first computer model with a mouse. And he brought home a program that allowed to model Landsat 5, which is a weather satellite, its orbit. And he sat me down and we looked at this and he said, Jamie, can you define the coverage at any point in time of the Earth? And I looked at him and he showed me a little bit of how to input numbers. Now, don't think that I was calculating anything. I was like 6, but I could learn number patterns and I was able to get through several simulations and show where coverage the satellite would be at any time of day and how much of the Earth would be covered. So that's where my love of technology started. I will tell you that even with passion, there have been obstacles. Fast forwarding into college, I can tell you that my first year, I was a freshman at Virginia Tech, and I had an introduction to engineering class. I was one of 45 women out of a class of 900 that had been accepted directly into a freshman engineering class. And I had a professor that really challenged the women in the class, and he refused to answer questions. It was a time where I learned that I had to go to his office hours and I had to find other ways to communicate to be seen and heard in the field. But it kind of shook my foundation because as much as I loved technology and engineering, it made me second guess myself. And so I pivoted. I ended up in business thinking, hey, this can be easier. I still love numbers, but I miss the challenges that technology provides. I miss the collaboration. I missed problem solving, creating things that don't exist. That was a real passion of mine. So I spent 4 years in accounting, utilizing my business degree, and pivoted back to engineering as a systems engineer. At that time, I was married. I have 2 children. One of them is now married. Both of them are out of college. One lives in Flagstaff, one lives in Tucson. But back then, they were just babies. And I knew to make the pivot in my career that I had to go back to school. I had to get educated. I had to be sure that I would be taken seriously in the industry. And I did. I went back to school. I went to Hopkins. I did school at night. I worked through the day. I did the daycare runs. I did feeding and grocery shops and all the normal things that life takes you, it requires to be done. And I came out more confident than ever before. I will share that required some really amazing managers, bosses, supervisors along the way. There is an incredible amount of people out there that are willing to support you if you put in the effort. If they see that you want it, they are more than willing to work with you and help you achieve what you wish. So, I have spent the last 20 years building a career that I love. I have been able to blend my engineering background and my business background. And today I'm an executive at a woman-owned company out of El Segundo, California, Dynamic Systems Inc. And I'm really excited about this position because while it took many years to hone my craft, in this role, I get to do more strategy, more direction of where the company will go, the projects it will invest in, the technologies that it will accept. And the company does focus in the public sector, which is federal government, regulated markets, utilities. It's exciting for me to know that the projects that my company and that I'm involved with help many others, certainly in the United States, but truly around the world as they get adopted. And that is something that makes me so proud. It helps me to sleep at night and gives me a sense of accomplishment for my life. So, hackathon, I can't tell you how excited I am to be here. I'm looking out here at all of this. You all are filling up this room, and I am impressed. It's exciting to see all of this potential because you are the next generation of leaders. You are going to create things that we can't even think about today. So, what a monumental place to start. A hackathon is not just about building something in 24 to 48 hours. It is about discovering how you think, how you collaborate, and how you show up when things get tough. And they are going to get tough. Your code will break, your teams are going to disagree, and you are going to have to pivot on the spot. But I do want you to know that that is not failure, that is part of the process. So before we talk about strategy, I want to talk about belonging. First, I will reference myself. You may notice I'm short. I am female. I have had many times in my career where I have not been taken seriously, where I've sat at a table and had condescending talks or looks come my way. And it's tough sitting through those. So, what I want to tell you all is that some of you may be here thinking that I am not the most technical, that I might be the one to slow my team down, or what happens if everyone else is more experienced than me? So, let me be very clear with you. You were not invited to this space by accident. You have earned your seat. Technology needs your perspective. It needs how you think, how you solve problems, and how you see the world differently. Innovation doesn't come from everyone thinking the same way. It truly comes from diversity of thought, experience, and voice. So don't shrink yourself to fit any room. Expand the room with your presence. A few things about how to win hackathons. You might think that hackathons are won by the best coders in the room, but they're not. The best teams will solve a problem, work well together, execute quickly, and tell a compelling story. So you're going to be given a problem. When you get this problem, ask yourself, who is this helping? Why does it matter? And what happens if this exists? If your project makes someone's life easier, safer, or more connected, you are on the right track. Additionally, you need to be able to work well together. Your collaboration skills will matter more than your technical skills. You will need to listen to one another, respect each other's strengths, and speak up when you have an idea. And a key leadership insight that I want to share with you all, you do not need a title to be a leader. Leadership in a hackathon looks a lot like organizing your team. It looks like keeping the momentum going, and it looks like encouraging someone when they're stuck. Additionally, you've got to execute quickly. Perfection is not the goal. Progress is. You don't need a fully polished product. You do need a working prototype, a clear concept, and a demonstration that proves your idea. Start small, build something that works, and improve it. Done is better than perfect. And finally, you've got to tell a compelling story. At the end of the hackathon, you're not just going to present your code, you are going to present the impact. Your story should answer, what problem are you solving? Why does it even matter? How does your solution work? And what could this become? People remember stories, and judges or executive leadership, invest in vision. As women in technology, I do want to share that you bring something incredibly valuable, lived perspective. You notice problems other people overlook. You design with empathy. You think about usability, accessibility, and real-world applications. It's not a soft skill. That is a competitive advantage. Some of the most impactful products in this world exist because someone said, why isn't this designed for someone like me? So as you build this weekend, don't just ask, what can we create? Ask, what should exist that doesn't yet? All right, now you know that during today and tomorrow, things are going to go wrong. This is true in life as well. It's a hard life lesson to learn, but once learned, is extremely powerful. So today, at some point, your code's not going to compile, your APIs are going to fail, your idea is going to need to pivot. So in that moment, you have a choice. You can freeze or you can adapt. The best innovators are not the ones who avoid problems. They're the ones who move through them quickly. So here's a simple mindset shift. Instead of saying this isn't working, ask, what's the next best step? Momentum matters more than perfection. So I challenge you to take 3 challenges today. Challenge 1, take 1 risk. Speak up when you normally wouldn't. Volunteer for something outside of your comfort zone. Challenge 2, own a part of the project fully. Make it yours. Drive it forward. Be accountable for it. And challenge 3, support someone. Encourage a teammate, help someone debug, and share your knowledge. Because success is not just what you build, it's how you build it together. So in closing, I want to leave you with this. The technology industry is not waiting for permission to change. It is being shaped right now by the people who choose to build it. And that includes all of you. Your ideas matter, your perspective matters, and your voice matters. So go into this hackathon, build boldly, ask big questions, try things you're not sure will work, because the future of technology is not something you just join, it's something you create. So good luck to all of you, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Jamie, for a very inspiring and very insightful talk. All right. So before we go into rules for the hackathon, I want to take a second to mention WiCS sponsor who have helped us with all of our activities, and their sponsorship helps fund this hackathon. We also want to take a second to appreciate all of the hackathon sponsor, Opportunity Hacks, and all of the companies that were brought on. Meta, Spotify, 11 Labs are the main one that will be behind the problem statements today. We also received sponsorship from Red Bull and ASU for, all right. Are you guys ready for the hackathon? All right. We're gonna get started very soon. So before we do, we're gonna go over agenda, rules, as well as the problem statements for today. So competition officially begins at 10 a.m. We'll have lunch at 12. And then while hackathon is happening, there will be mentoring support in person as well as online. We have the incredible mentors here today. Thank you very much for stopping by. They'll be here in person until 5 p.m. today, and then they'll return tomorrow for mentoring supports. However, there'll still be online support on Slack, so make sure you join the Slack channels. Hacking continues overnight, so please feel free to work on it if you wish. However, if you want to take rest, that's totally okay also. And then the submissions and competition ends will be at 3 p.m. tomorrow. That's when judging will start. We'll have live demo, so you'll be in person in Tucker eSpaces. pitching your products, what you built, and trying to convince the judges on the spots. And then we'll have closing ceremony and prize distribution right afterwards. So a little bit of logistics. So this facility is the Tucker E-Space. Breakfast and lunch will be served on both days, so you don't have to worry about that, only about dinner. The room is reserved until 11 p.m., but it's still available overnight if you want to stay here and hack with the team. However, there are also other spaces across campus. If you want to, take a breather, go grab Starbucks, anything like that, you can leave the room and come back also. Mentors will be here if you need them until 5 p.m. If you need to use the restroom, it will be through the Tucker Dining Hall. So just come outside, go through the Tucker Dining Hall, and they'll let you in from 10 to 7 p.m. And then overnight parking is available at this garage, the Fulton garage, and then the one near Panda Express. All right, these are the prize categories. So we have 2 founding engineer winning teams. So we are bringing on 2 different nonprofit problem statements today, and each of them is looking for a winning team. So the winning team will get to work with them to bring this hackathon project into implementation and full completion. And you will be receiving mentorship support from OHack as you work on it down the line. We also have other prizes, such as top majority female non-binary team, because we want to welcome everyone and encourage the attendance of female and non-binary students here today, as well as top freshman sophomore team. You're freshman and sophomore, but you're at a hackathon building products, and we find that very motivating and inspiring, so we want to support you. Best security build. Security is very important for real world development. Best social impact. Best accessibility, best AI usage. This hackathon is open for AI usage. However, the way that you implement it, as well as your documentation, is very important as we consider for this prize. Best project build with 11 Labs. So 11 Labs is an AI company that helps with speech recognition, and they have a lot of cool products around that. So documentation has been sent out. And then the remaining prizes will be out for a raffle. All right, rules, team formation. So most of everyone here comes with a team. Who comes here with a team, please? Can I see a show of hand? All right, cool. All right. So make sure it's a team of 2 to 4 members only. If there has been changes to your team members, please let us know. And then who in here is coming alone, looking for teammates, or who is looking for more teammates to add to their team? All right. Okay, so if you see the hands, you should recognize one another and you should talk to one another after this. All right. This hackathon will be continuously for 30 hours. So from 10 to 3 tomorrow, and then the project must be submitted by 3 p.m. on DevPost. All right. If you use AI generated code, please make sure you document them really well. So these are the bullet points we want you to keep in mind as you do so. So please clearly state the resources, clearly identify which part use AI, and then that will be going towards your judging consideration. You can use any tech stack of your choice. However, you have to explain your choices through while you give the demo. So please make sure you give a lot of thoughts to that. Very important, the code must be original and must be fully developed during the hackathon. If you have solutions ahead of time, please let us know and we'll consider if you can use it for this hackathon or not. You are not supposed to have solutions ahead of time or things that are mostly implemented ahead of time. And then for submissions tomorrow, the submission will have to be on DevPost before the deadline. So DevPost closes their submission automatically at 3 p.m., similar to your Canvas at 11:59 p.m. So please make sure you submit ahead of time. You can do multiple submissions and make edits to your submission. So you can make a submission ahead of time and edit it as you go. Please don't do it like very close to 3 p.m. because if it doesn't go through, then we might not be able to consider your solution. You need a code repo on GitHub, and then the live demo will be arranged from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. in Tucker eSpaces. If you have anything that needs attention or you want to bring up anything, please feel free to come talk to us. And then I want to hand off the mic to the two nonprofits that are coming in today for their problem statements.
Hey, I'm back again. So we only have 2 problem statements. We've learned over the last 12 years that if we have too many problem statements, it kind of gets a little crazy. So we only have 2. But these are really significant problems for you to focus on. So you have to pick one of these 2 problem statements. I'm going to walk through the first one. And ideally what you look at is there's a software requirements document that both of these have. I don't know how many pages, roughly like 5 or 6 pages each. Those software requirements documents pretty much have everything you need to know other than these 3 slides that I'll walk through. So those were available as of like 10 o'clock last night. They are linked in dev post right at the top. There's 2 documents there that has a ton of information. So in the world of AI, you might take a Google Doc and you might put it into like a Notebook LM, which is free Google product to use. You might use that Notebook LM to help you come up with other ideas, to come up with checklists, to do things like that. Just an idea. Try to leverage these AI tools that exist today that didn't even exist pretty much last year. And then one quick thing is mentors. How many mentors do we have in the room right now? Could you all raise your hands? All right, so we have amazing. And then I definitely count as 1. There's Jamie back there. So look around here. We have some in-person mentors that you just saw. They may have a black badge that says mentor, pretty easy to find. Do not hesitate in these first hour to ask them more questions, to ask them for help to break down the problems, to figure out what you're going to build. There's a bunch of mentors online as well on Slack with pretty much 24/7 coverage all over the globe. And so do not hesitate to ask in the Ask a Mentor Slack channel for any question you might have. Okay, enough of that. First problem statement is I'll walk you through kind of over the last 12 years, we've seen about 7 nonprofits with this same problem and we've not solved it. So if you want to solve this problem, you could then probably turn this into a startup and you could probably sell this because the current products in the market today are too expensive for nonprofits to use. And basically the idea here is every nonprofit in the social sector who's helping families, children, people, they all need to keep track of the people that they're helping. So for instance, if I am running a food bank or I'm running a local charity where I'm helping families, I need to keep track of that family. I need to keep track of the services I've provided to that family. I need to keep track of the budget that is spent. I'm going to use that to now ask for a grant, maybe from the state or for the government, or use that data to ask for more funding through donors. So today, there's not many solutions that exist that are under $30 a month, which is that key point there. A lot of the nonprofits today use Google Sheets. And we all know like Google Sheets, you can't really automate a text message from there. You can't really automate emails very much from there. You don't really want to use Google Sheets as your main source of record, but this is the low-tech world that they live in. And so ideally you create this centralized hub where instead of having a paper form that they ask this person that they're helping to fill out, that they then take that paper form and type it into the system, and then they try to keep track over a spreadsheet over 2-5 years in a very manual way. Hopefully you solve this problem. Today, there's sort of like $1 million systems, this Bonterra Apricot, there's a couple more. And there's no way a nonprofit is going to pay for this solution because they'll just go bankrupt immediately. And again, I already talked through the manual data input that they have to do. It takes them minutes every time they need to do that. And then the other one is everyone wants to help out in a nonprofit, but there's a lot of sort of churn here. There's a lot of staff turnover. And what happens if somebody leaves that nonprofit is now I have to go train somebody else on this really crazy manual process that has been invented. And that takes time to now bring somebody else up to speed on that same project. So like software solves this problem, but it doesn't exist yet. And that's your job, is to build that. This is kind of what it looks like. It looks like this case management where you have a client is somebody that a nonprofit helps. That's the term here for that. And then you have the service logging where you log how you helped that person or that family or that child, whatever it may be. Ideally, you're using some AI tools, that the tools that you build. Maybe you're using 11 Labs to take speech and convert it to text as part of that, just as a hint. And then you're going to try to figure out how to keep track of that person. You're trying to make sure that your software is built in a way that can be used by that nonprofit. So you really want to make sure that this is simple and that most of this is automated. And then you get some reporting at the end. And they use that reporting for grants so they can get money from the federal government or the state. And also so they can encourage the people who want to donate to them that they're using that money in a direct way that benefits society. So that is the overall scope of this problem. Again, there's a document for this one and the next one. They're both on DevPost. They should be publicly available. And you can make a comment in that document. It's a Google Doc. Everyone hopefully knows how to make comments in Google Docs. We'll be making sure that we answer questions that you have in the Google Doc. If you ask a question there, it helps everybody because that means we can answer that question, we can update the doc, things like that. So try to collaborate as much as you can in Google Docs. That's what I do at my job pretty much every day, make comments on Google Docs. And now I write code as well. All right, let's hand this over to Jonathan. He's going to talk through WAL. This is a nonprofit that is both local and global. So give a hand for Jonathan.
Awesome, thank you. I am not going to be able to speak as eloquently as Greg did on his problem statement, and I think I want to hire Jamie to be a keynote speaker at my organization. So I'm Jonathan Kenger. I represent WILE, which stands for the World Institute for Action Learning. I'm actually a former ASU grad myself, not in technology. I was in journalism, worked at the local PBS affiliate as well here for a number of years. Support your local PBS station. I'm just putting that plug in right now. So for WILE, we are an organization that is a global, I should say founded in the US, but now globally present. So we have affiliates around the world. We have 14 affiliates right now. And what we do is we provide a coaching service for those affiliates to be able, or a coaching certification model for those affiliates to be able to certify coaches in their local country, to be able to work with nonprofits, to work with for-profit organizations, ultimately to help them get to root cause of their problems. What we find is that there's a lot of teams, organizations that have recurring problems because they throw solutions at a problem without truly getting to the root cause of it. So we have a coaching method that we follow that helps them to get to that root cause, but at the same time, we have them practice a leadership skill. So we're developing leadership capability while they're getting to root cause. So it's this marriage of both, which is difficult to do and challenging. So to reflect on what Jamie was even talking about, we stretch these organizations to be able to think more critically and ultimately get to that root cause. So what we are in need of, though, is help with several things, because what we find is that we as a global organization, we have a global governing presence, but each of the affiliates that we have need support from us. And we have kind of an inconsistent model where they kind of are, building their own websites that are kind of connected to us, but not completely either. So we're really looking for a way for them to stay connected to us and also showcase their own local content. So we have this brand inconsistency, as it says right there. We are looking to make sure that we also have a way of getting payment from the local coaches, the local affiliates, in a streamlined fashion. You can see there it talks about payment inefficiencies. And we're also looking to make sure that we can have a a way for us as a governing body to be able to support them with other things, resources, videos, academic articles that they can use in their local language, because a lot of stuff is often produced here in the US, and we need that to be able for them to be able to leverage it and produce in whatever country they are in. So we have these problem statements, and it's funny that we had to eat our own cooking. We had to get to root cause of our own problem to be able to come to you, even though that is what we do as an organization. So this is kind of what we have come up with for our own problem statement. So I'm not sure what else we have to talk through next. Our goal here. So you've got a few things listed here. This automated deployment, a platform with, other chapters, other affiliates to be able to create their own sites that are referenced with a similar theme of what we have from our global template, our global governing board template. We're looking for integrated payment solutions. We need some way of being able to have some type of control as a governing body for that. But we also need a way for these individual coaches around the world that are certified in our method to be able to be searchable. So we want people that come to the site that are looking for our organization services to be able to find a coach in their country that can be able to support them too. So some type of a searchable method for that, and have that be available in their local language too. Anything else that would be a follow? One other thing, I'll be around if you have questions just about the nonprofit. Happy to answer more about that. I'm the least technical person in the room, so don't ask me questions over that. Thankfully, you have your brilliant mentors here for that, but I'll be here to be able to support you. And just a huge, huge, huge thank you for all the work that you're doing for this. As I can say this from our board president and all the other members, we cannot thank you enough. This is going to be such a huge help for us. So that's it.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. So now you have heard about the problem statements. They're real world problem statements. They're a little complicated, but also don't underestimate yourself. So let's get set up. For all of communications for the hackathon, please make sure you join the Slack. This is the QR code to join the Slack. And then these are the specific channels for this hackathon. So OHack has been ongoing for a while. So they have like a lot of different channels for different hackathons and different purposes. But please identify these specific channels for support during the hackathon and for further information. All right, everyone's good? Okay. And then make sure you join us on Death Post. This is where you'll be making submissions. If you get a winning prize, you get a winning badge on Death Post, and that is the coolest flex in the hackathon world. All right, is everyone on Death Post? Cool. And then these are the mentors hours. We'll share the slides on Slack afterwards for everyone to view it publicly as they go.
So this is actually live on ohack.dev. It updates live when mentors are available. You can't actually see this in the screenshot, so that forces you hopefully to go to the website. So for this specific hackathon, if you go to ohack.dev, you click on the hackathon, you scroll down to the mentors section. It tells you who's coming online at what time. And then if you click on their little profile, it'll take you down. You can learn more about them. They usually have their LinkedIn information there, what company they work for, and their background. So just really quick about more mentors.
The mentors in here are very cool. They're seasoned software engineers working in the field for a long time, and they know what's up. So please make sure you ask questions and get support as needed. And then, yeah, that's everything. And now it's hacking time. So good luck, everyone. We'll be around to answer any questions, and let's get started.